Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. It's another success for me as far as the Letterboxd Picks What I Watch Next series. This is a series where I go on Letterboxd and a random Letterboxd user will decide my fate. It's not really that deep. They're just going to decide a movie I watch next in the series. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the next movie I watch. It's just you'll know when I've watched the movie when I make a video like this around that time afterwards. But it's just cool because I have an ongoing watch list on Letterboxd. Plenty of movies I want to watch, hundreds of movies that I just have queued up that I'm willing to watch at any point. But then there's some that might be on there that could be pushed up by this, or some that are completely off my radar, which have been the last couple ones. Honestly, the first one was Shutter Island, and I really enjoyed that film. And last time, Stand By Me, the 1986 classic. I got to watch it for the first time ever myself. Now, when I watched it, I realized a lot of those scenes, I was like, okay, I remember a lot of these. It's definitely on TV at some point, and I just didn't fully digest the movie. It was just kind of on, running in the background kind of thing. But I specifically remember the sick balls scene, that whole thing. That one was very, very familiar to me. The whole ending sequence was familiar to me, but I didn't really have any idea of the details. So it definitely felt like one of those things where it was on in the background. But man, it was a great, great film. I love it, and I totally see why it's a classic because it still stands the test of time even watching it now. It's got that vibe to it that definitely feels like kind of cozy but tragic at the same time. But it's also heartwarming. It's a nice little story about that focuses on childhood friendship and how special that can be. And often you don't recapture that magic into adulthood. So it's a nostalgic feeling when you watch the movie, even if you don't exactly relate to the characters. It's a nostalgic feeling, but a completely different experience from mine at the same time. And it's unique in its setting and its tone. And man, these children are some great actors. Great actors. River Phoenix was awesome, and I didn't actually know any of the story of his passing at such a young age. It was like 23 that he passed away after this, and that's just such a shame because you can tell how talented he is at such an even more young age. At this point, he killed it, and that's a shame because it's one of those people I would have loved to see where they're at now. I was surprised even looking at some of the actors from then and now. I had no idea that was Jerry O'Connell that played Vern in this. Is that his name, Vern? Hopefully I'm getting that right. I had no idea they look nothing alike now. He looks completely different. But Will Wheaton, there's a surprising amount of actors in here that got an early start here. So just great performances. Great energy to it, great chemistry, and it's a nice little contained story. Really nice. An absolute success. I'm waiting for one to come in that I don't like at all. That'll be interesting. Not rooting for that because the whole point is to watch movies I'll enjoy. But yeah. So here's the rundown for the uninitiated. How it works is I go on Letterboxd on a profile just like this, and how I'll do it is I always go to the movie I reviewed most recently, which in this case happens to be Final Destination Bloodlines. This is usually the case. This is a rewatch, but Lilo and Stitch, it was a rewatch for a review on Tarkron, but there's no review there, so I'm going to go to Final Destination Bloodlines. Great movie, by the way. All I'm going to do is go to the most recent review, and whoever that is, I'll go to their Letterboxd profile, and immediately I'll go to their 4 favorites, and I'll go down the line until one is eligible. So essentially, the criteria it needs to meet is say whatever this first film is, it has to be obviously a movie I haven't seen before. I'll make some exceptions, I'm sure, at some point for movies that I've seen vaguely as a child. That would basically be a fresh watch now. I would make exceptions for that, but for the most part, a movie I haven't seen, and it's not going to be a sequel unless I specifically have only seen the one before it. For example, the one I keep going to is I've only seen Mission Impossible 1. So if Mission Impossible 3 comes up, it's not eligible because I obviously haven't seen 2. And the whole point is the Letterboxd user specifically is picking it out. So there's no saying that they would actually enjoy Mission Impossible 2 or if it's any significance to them at all. So I'm not going to default to an earlier entry in the series or anything like that. Just skip it altogether. The other qualification is it has to be a movie I can access and either rent or stream legally with a value of $5 or less. Any more than $5, no go. The idea is that I don't want to be breaking the bank watching random movies because there are plenty I can watch on my multiple streaming platforms anyway. So usually that'll be fine. I won't usually have to pay anything. I say usually. The last 2 times I haven't had to, but we'll see. But I'm willing to pay $5 because that's nothing crazy. But it would add up if I had to keep paying $5 over and over again. That could add up for sure. So without further ado, I'll go to Final Destination Bloodlines. The most recent review, that person will decide. Also, in the event that they don't have 4 favorites, which is something I experienced on the first movie, on the first user that I got, because they had just been creating their profile when I got in there. If they don't have 4 favorites, or if none of the 4 favorites are eligible, I'll then go to their films, and sort by highest rating, and then go through in that order. Usually you don't have to go through all that pretty quickly. Usually I can find one of their 4 favorites that'll work, but we'll see. Just important to have these things in place now. Recent review. Oh, I can actually translate. It is the film with the best script and construction of the franchise. However, the deaths left something to be desired in terms of creativity and were quite obvious. The only one that was more exciting was The MRI, a fun film and probably the best of the franchise as a cinematographic work, and especially in the technical part. I don't really agree. I thought it was pretty outstanding in all regards. But Emily, you're in the hot seat. Oh man, this is interesting. See, this is a decision I didn't want to have to make. I knew it would be an annoying one to make because Up, I definitely seen in passing when I was young. I remember a good amount of it. So yeah, at some point I probably will go for Up. Like I'll probably go through the Pixar movies and whatnot, just to fully refresh on a lot of them. But for the purpose of this series and the spirit of it, I think I will skip it and go to Kill Bill, which is one I haven't seen straight up at all. So Kill Bill Volume 1, obviously, look at this huge on ratings. Oh my god, almost everybody has 5 stars, 4.5, 4 stars, and 1% is 2.5. They just did not like it. Quentin Tarantino movie, like one of the early ones that I haven't seen. I'm a big fan of some Quentin Tarantino movies. But of course, let me verify that it's available with the criteria I mentioned. Okay, so unfortunately I'm going to have to whip out Apple TV Plus and rent it for $3.99, but it is available under $5. That's the thing. That's why most of the time it's going to be eligible, because rarely is a movie... like most movies I can at least find through Apple TV Plus. It'll take me to wherever I need it. A lot of things are available just on streaming straight up. And then if they are available to rent, usually it's not going to be over $5. That's usually reserved for like a newer release. Usually it's going to be $4 type rentals. But there it is. Kill Bill Volume 1. An assassin is shot by her ruthless employer, Bill, and other members of their assassination circle, but she lives to plot her vengeance. All right. Uma Thurman. All right, Lucy Liu. Okay, yeah, I know surprisingly little about this movie, despite obviously hearing it in the zeitgeist for some time now, years and years. Kill Bill, Kill Bill, Kill Bill. And, all right, absolutely, I'm down. This is one, again, was completely not on my radar, wasn't on my watch list or anything, but totally... I think a lot of Tarantino films in general, the ones I've missed, I would love to watch because I do really enjoy his films. But there it is, Kill Bill Volume 1. Sometimes it is just that simple. All right, so I skipped Up. It was in the gray area, but I remember a good amount of it. I remember the most iconic, obviously the opening part of it, and then I do remember a good amount of the story beats, so it wouldn't really be a fresh watch. And so I'm always going to go for the spirit of this. I say I'm not a picky movie watcher at all, so I'm willing to watch anything. I'm never gonna just be like, I'd rather not, so I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna be honest with you. So for a fresh experience, Kill Bill Volume 1. That's next. Alright, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one where we talk about movies, TV, and reality TV right here on the channel.